I'm live at Ball Hack Airsoft Field, and we're looking at the new Classic Army Scarab in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. So Chrono test going on behind me, everything going crazy. I wanted to show you guys something new. Didn't get a chance to do a review of this earlier, and wanted to give you a good look at the new Classic Army Scarab, and it's built from the ground up as one of their new custom guns. So what's neat about the Scarab is it doesn't exist in the real world. This one actually was developed by Classic Army as their own custom AEG. So this thing truly is a bespoke gun, which it's a big fancy word for saying it's kind of a one-off, but it's not just a one-off. They actually have 3 different lengths. They have this length and 2 other lengths. But that said, small, medium, large, you can pick the length that works for your playstyle. So let's dig into the externals. I'm going to talk about this gun since it is new. It's got a lot of new stuff going on and there's no real world counterpart. So first off, the big news is the way it's designed. This is one CNC'd piece of aluminum from here to there. That makes a big difference in an airsoft gun. There's no connector points, there's no bolt on, there's nothing here. So having pretty much a full one-piece upper, means full one-piece rail, gives you a very solid gun. I mean, I'm talking incredibly solid here. This thing is no wobble, no wiggle, and of course, you're not gonna get any play inside, which I love. On the front, you do have key mods down the side. They are airsoft specs, so you guys can kind of save a few dollars and buy the airsoft version, but fear not, if you guys, it's nice and clean and it's really trim. I'll kind of hold it to the video here for you so you guys see how trim it is. But you do get real rail space in the bottom and of course that real rail space on top. The rail space on the bottom and the top do grow depending on the versions. Like I said, this is the shortest version, which is the CQC, and it does go up from there. Across the top you get metal flip up sights, front and rear, same stuff you normally get on a Classic Army gun, which I love. You do get a charging candle. I'm going to talk about that here in the front because it is 4 position. You can move it from here back to here and the same on other sides. You can do that, pull it back, lock open the hop-up chamber, but you do have to press the paddle on the other side. It's not spring-loaded. You probably could mod in a little spring if you wanted to make it automatic to pull it back, but once you do it, you kind of hold that button in, then you can access the actual big rotary-style hop-up in here, the big wheel style, which I like. It does such a good job holding on, and it's a full metal hop-up chamber. And with the big clank, thing slaps forward and you're good. I put a really good spring in here, so I do like that clank. I wish they kind of, in a way, you almost kind of want electric blowback. I'm not a huge fan of electric blowback because it does take a lot of power out of the gun, but you almost want it. Moving to the back, I'm just going to jump on it. This PDW style stock. This thing is a tank. A lot of times these have a lot of play to them and kind of like plastic and stuff. This one is definitely built. It's solid, it's metal, and the tubes, the actual rails they use, are insanely beefy. There is like no wobble, no play, even in its fully extended position. You do have a couple positions in between, so you can like set it in the middle, so it's not all the way out or all the way back in. Do have a decent little butt pad on here, good to shoulder your gun. It's actually not too shabby for it. A lot of times you do give you a small one, so it kind of feels uncomfortable if you dig it in your shoulder. This one doesn't. You do get a good shouldering on it, and I do like that about it. Stock side, we're gonna move to the lower here. Very few markings, which I like. A little bit of Classic Army right here on the side. The Scarab logo, a unique serial number with the year and then the model number on it. And then on the other side, nice and clean fire selector. It is ambi on pretty much everything, which is nice, but on the sides you do actually have the mag release is lefty and righty, as well as the fire selector is left and right as well. So a little shorter on this right hand side, so most people right hand dominant are going to have a good time. It's not going to dig in there, but still good enough to use for you lefties out there. Rounding out the grip, you actually have a polymer grip here on the side, smooth, tight, nice and clean. Take standard grips, M4s, no worries. So anything you have is going to work. And then of course the trigger guard is part of the lower receiver. It's not a separate piece, so nice and solid, no worries there. All right, rounding out the externals, I do want to talk about a couple things. Like I said, the outer barrel goes in length as the actual rails to get longer, so you do have 3 different lengths in there, and I'm going to throw the specs up here on the screen for you so you guys can see inner barrel length, outer barrel length, and rail length, because all 3 are a little different, so you guys know what you're getting into. But the way the battery goes right here on the bottom. It is kind of snug on this short version. On the 2 longer ones, there's no problem. On the shorter one, you're definitely going to get a 3-piece or 2-piece LiPo battery, the little, like the actual 3-piece ones. Make sure they're kind of trimmer and get them in here. I didn't have any trouble getting the one in here. It took like maybe a minute or 2 to get it kind of in there. It's not a super fast change. The only downside I have on this gun, and I got to let you guys know this, if you go through a lot of shooting, I'm a light shooter, not a big deal for me. But if you're a heavy shooter, it takes an Allen screw on the front and the back to actually change this thing out. So it's not exactly field expedient. You gotta take this screw out, pop this piece off, and then do the swap. That can add to a little time on battery changes on the field. So make sure you get a good one. If you guys are concerned about battery, definitely step up to the next length. It adds just like a couple inches at each one you go to, and you can actually get way more battery space. It makes life easier, so you won't have to worry about those battery changes. All right, moving internals, I'm gonna kind of run over some stuff. You get the normal stuff you get with Classic Army these days. You get the bore-up cylinder kit. You get all their new piston, the blue piston. It's not the yellow piston anymore, it's the new blue piston, new material. You get wire cuts, steel gears. You get 9mm bearing bushings. You get all the good stuff, low resistance wiring, and of course the Classic Army motor. So all that stuff's in there. But this guy, you get something very different under the hood. You get a programmable trigger, and that's right, you actually get a full MOSFET programmable trigger that's done through the trigger here. So you put it into semi-auto, you hold the trigger down, it'll start to beep at you, and it will cycle through the different settings. So you can set it between semi and full auto, which is your standard setting. It's gonna come out of the box that way. You can do burst fire, either in burst fire, so like semi and burst, and then burst and full, and then variations of those. And what's really cool is you have 3-round burst option and a 5-round burst option. So if you need a little bit bigger burst for that full auto, you want to get those longer shots, you need to kind of get a little spread out there or whatever, you have both options between a 3 and a 5-round burst. So I thought was super cool. It's very simple to use, has that audible beep to it, very easy, no programming box, no crazy documentation or science degree to figure this thing out. I really like how they did it. Really simple and very responsive trigger because it is fully electronic trigger, programmable system with that MOSFET self-contained. Also, low voltage battery monitoring and motor monitoring, which is really cool too. So things you usually get in very premium MOSFETs because that's what's in here. So battery gets too low voltage, it's going to prevent your weapon from firing so you don't burn out that LiPo battery. Also, if your motor doesn't turn over 4 times, there's non-functioning for 4 different rotations, it's actually gonna cut off and disable the system as well. So you have both of those options in here that are included in the box. So taking this thing out to the Chrono, also want to show you guys, this thing's got some oomph no matter which version you pick, short, medium, or long. It's got a little heat to it. We're looking at clocking in just under that 400 mark. So this is definitely a gun that's going to reach out and touch someone. But fear not, if it's too hot for you, it does have that quick change spring system. You can get inside this thing, make that change super fast, and then get back up and running. Plus, don't forget too, it does take standard M4 mags. Did mention that earlier. So if you guys are concerned about mag capacity or mag changes because this thing is like a new gun, it's special, it's not built off a real one, fear not, it does come with a high cap in the box, 300 round high cap, Classic Army, which are actually really good high caps. I enjoy them, like nice metal ones, but you can fit pretty much any mid cap or high cap in here, M4 style, and run it no problem. All right guys, so if you're looking for an M4 compatible platform because you've made that investment in the mags, or you just want to have a gun that works with your teammates' magazines, but still looks totally different and cool, plus has that insane programmable MOSFET, I would definitely take a look at the new Scarab. They are in very limited release when they first dropped. So you guys are watching this video brand new here in late 2016. They're gonna be very limited, so if you find them, grab it up quick. You're gonna see them hit the markets in mass, full steam, in early 2017, and then from then out, you're gonna be able to pick them up pretty much anywhere. And like I said, if you guys wanna learn more about the Scarab, or you wanna pick one up yourself, try to find one, I'll have a link down in the description below that might have a few left for you. You might wanna go down there and click it and check it out if you guys wanna learn more about this or the other versions of the Scarab from Classic Army.